Hello, Wealthy Wives and Friends. This is Cindy Sophia, author of Wealthy Wife, Meeting, Dating, and Marrying Rich Men. Now, let's continue on with our training. We've been going over the courtesan mindset, and this little mini training that I'm offering you guys is focusing on really learning how to define you. Who are you? Who do you want to be? How do you want to be represented? Meaning how you want to represent yourself in the world of fluent dating. Guys, like I said, you've been following me long enough. Most of you have been following me long enough. And for those that are new to my YouTube channel, I talk so much about mindset, communication skills, but one of the other biggies I talk about is really understanding who you are in reference to a person, a woman, your needs, desires, goals, whatever, that is going to match you up with the right type of affluent man that actually excites you, inspires you, and truly is the kind of man you want to partner up with, whether that's as patrons, benefactors, you're a spoiled girlfriend, he's your sugar daddy, he's your husband, fiance, whatever. Before you guys can truly succeed, really succeed long term in the world of fluent dating, you really must be more clear about who you are. Because so many times when you're out there and you're just putting stuff out there, putting yourself out there with no real defined message in reference to who you are and also what you're looking for, you wind up coming up with all kind of crazies. Crazy experiences, crazy men, it's just ew. It winds up being something that will wear you out quickly. Now, once again, I speak from experience because when I first got into the world of sugar dating, or affluent dating as I call it, because it's way more than just being a sugar baby, I came in as a sugar baby. And I didn't have clarity about the kind of men I liked. I knew I loved men who were... I had a basic idea of the kind of men I did like. I couldn't even tell you guys I didn't, because I did. But once again, me being raised around so many men and such masculine energy, I knew the types of personality in reference to men that I did like. Now, I didn't always understand the occupations that the men were going to be in, that I was going to be most compatible with. But over time, as I became more experienced and had more relationships and romances and mentors and coaching and whatever, I learned the style of personality that I enjoy in affluent men. And my type, for the most part, are entrepreneurs. Now, entrepreneur men, they can come in from different angles. They might be working in corporate America at the moment, while they are building their dream for their own, but they have that edge. An entrepreneurial man, for me, is exciting because he still has some edge and bite to his personality. I like very masculine men. I've never lied about that. I don't hide that truth. I told you guys, beta men are not a good fit for me. I can be friends with them, but there's no way we can be romantic partners. I like a man that can stand his ground. I like a man that has the courage and the confidence to get out there and break the rules periodically, make life what he wants it to be, and is willing to take the hard knocks and the process that goes along with it to reach those levels of success. Those are the type of men that just, oh my God, just make my heart melt, okay? And once again, they come wrapped up in a variety of containers, but that is the basics of the personality that I enjoy in a man. So we talked about, once again, having clarity about who you are. In the first audio that I shared in this series was about describe yourself in 3 words. I asked you to put together 3 I am statements explaining to me who you are. Meaning, how do you see yourself in those 3 statements? Once again, some ladies got them to me. I applaud you. That shows me you have initiative and that you really are working towards becoming better in the world in reference to yourself and your goals, in addition to what you're desiring in the world of fluent dating. For those of you that haven't done it yet, like I said, it's going to take some effort on your part to do something that's going to really benefit you. Why would you not want to do it? I'm serious, guys. I'm giving you guys insider tips right now. Yes, you guys know this by now. I don't teach you some of the stuff that you may be looking for in reference to where do you meet affluent men? Where can I find sugar daddies? Where can I do this? Where can I do that? Because here's the issue with it. If you have not done your prep work, you're going to get out there and you're going to get yourselves in trouble. Like I said, once in a blue moon, you can hit a home run and find a great man. But if you don't understand who you are, what you need out of that man, and the type of personality that you get along with, it's not going to last long. And it could possibly go sideways. It could possibly become a situation that makes you very uncomfortable. There are kind of things that you will allow yourself to be a part of because you are not directing first yourself and you don't have clarity about you, which sets you up for issues with anybody you tie yourself up with. Once again, guys, I only speak the facts. I'm not speaking anything crazy sideways. I'm no way, shape, or form being mean. I am just letting you know, if you want to do this, go in it with your eyes wide open. Not trying to base it upon what everybody else is doing in reference to what's working for them, but find out what's really going to work for you. And that only comes from learning who you are. Be you younger, be you older, be you whatever. Self-awareness is everything in this world of affluent dating. That's where the confidence comes from. That's how you empower yourself. So the first one was describe yourself in 3 words. 3 I am statements. I am ... the word. The second training was all about your brand statement, basically. Describe yourself in 20 words or less, or even better, 100 characters or less. Because once again, you're going to use those 3 words, at least 2 of the 3 words that you used in your I am statements to help you build out your brand statement, basically. And your brand basically is you. How do you want people to think about you and remember you? And feel inspired by you? As I said beforehand, an affluent man wants to feel good with the woman that he's with. You know, especially if you're coming into his life as a release, a relief, a place of peace, or a safe haven for him. He wants somebody that can make him smile and laugh. And this is what the position is that a sugar baby holds in a sugar daddy's life, or the mistress holds in a man's life. Can also extend somewhat to escorts and also to dominatrix. You know, those are business arrangements for the most part. And in those arrangements, the man is seeking a place to relax. He is seeking a place of pleasure, minus all the drama and headaches and just the stuff that goes into having a regular relationship with a woman. If you're looking to be a spoiled girlfriend, if you're looking to be a wife, then once again, a trophy wife, whatever, that is a relationship, so it's going to come with ups and downs and ins and outs, and I like you, I can't stand you moments in the relationship. So you got to decide, once again, where you want to stand up and show up in an affluent man's life. Do you want to go into it from the aspect of a business transaction, business arrangement that is going to be mutually beneficial for both of you, having your needs met without the trauma and drama of a relationship, or are you going to go for the relationship? In your statements, you're going to start gaining some clarity about what you want. Because in those I am statements, you're going to discover your needs. You know, if you are a very independent person, you may not want to be a wife or a girlfriend. And that's perfectly fine. Having a man in your life or men in your life as patrons, benefactors, more in the transactional aspects of it, side of us affluent dating, is perfectly fine. You know, maybe you decide you want to go into sugar baby, or you want to go in it as the mistress, or if you want to go in it, you know, maybe you're going for a really, really professional sense, the dominatrix or an escort, or the courtesan. Once again, guys, it's about being aware of who you want to be and how you want to stand out. And sometimes you can do more than one, but you need to perfect one at a time. You know, sometimes you guys, like I said, want to get carried away and throw yourselves out there into too many positions, and you get caught up and you get tripped up, and then you fail, and then you get mad. No, you didn't plan. You've got to plan your next moves. This is a game of chess, essentially. So you want to understand the rules of the game, so to speak, and then once you understand the rules of the game, then you can start bending them or rewriting them to better suit your needs. You don't get to rewrite the rules before you understand how to play the game. Just so you know. You've got to understand the basics first. So when you took those 3 statements, the next assignment was, like I said, to put together your brand statement in 20 words or less describing you, or 100 characters or less describing you. And I did give you guys an example of how I explain myself. I am a bit of a tomboy, beautifully encased within a brilliant, compassionate, and sensuous woman. That's my brand statement for the most part. Now, it'll fluctuate. It may change. You know, I'll probably have more than one. But that was the example that I'm giving you guys because that's the truth about me. I'm a bit of a tomboy. You guys know who follow me for a while. I love cars. Exotic cars. Expensive cars. classic cars, muscle cars. I mean, that's the teenage, but that is the tomboy in me, 100%. I go to a car show and get happy. I love the motors. I love, the beauty design of the cars. It excites me. I really get into this. This is not just something to get me closer to affluent men. This is a passion that I've had since I was a little girl, courtesy of my oldest brother and his friends. The cars I would see around the house is where that passion began. And my father was a mechanic, so once again, I have background when it comes to these things. You guys also know I enjoy smoking cigars. I love a great brandy or scotch or cognac or whatever every now and then. I have those things. And I can talk guy. I know how to talk man. I understand how men speak. So I can do man speak and interpret man speak and be comfortable with man speak. So those things are part of that tomboyish aspects of my personality. But with me saying that, I am still very much a woman. I'm a very feminine woman and I love it. I've mentioned this beforehand. I love being a woman. I love the softness of my skin. I love the fragrance that I wear. I love coming out the shower and drying myself off and anointing my body with beautiful oils and scented lotions. I mean, I love being a woman. I love big ass hair, be it curly, wavy, whatever. I love big hair. I love jewelry. I love just so many things that just make me a girly girl. Now, I'm not a sparkly type of girl. I'm not into the glitter and stuff like that. But for me, my sparkle comes in reference to diamonds and gemstones and stuff like that. I'm a girl who happens to be very much a woman. So my statement does give a great job of describing somebody in a nutshell, telling somebody in a nutshell who I am. It describes my personal brand, basically. So I asked you guys to put together your statement. And I'm going to move into now talking about putting together your package. What is your brand? What does your brand look like? How are you packaging your quote-unquote brand? And I've been talking about Marilyn Monroe in the past. Her picture, I haven't talked about her so much in the audios, but I've been putting up her picture and giving brief descriptions in the comment section or the description section of the audios, of the videos. But today I want to talk about her because she was such a perfect example of what it means to repackage yourself. When you look at pictures of Norma Jean, who is Marilyn Monroe, because like I said, Marilyn Monroe is her persona. That was her starlet. That was her gimmick, basically. And what a gimmick it was. She built, Norma Jean Baker built Marilyn Monroe from the ground up. And if you look at her pictures as she was creating and developing Marilyn, it's amazing. Go online, pull up Norma Jean Marilyn Monroe, and you will see pictures where you will see the transition of her going from Norma Jean, who was a cute girl, rough around the edges, basically, big curly frizzy hair, but she came from a situation where, she didn't come out of money. She came from a poverty background. She was mostly in foster care and orphanages throughout her life, her younger years. She got married early to get away from that lifestyle and wound up in a messed up marriage. But you know what? But she always had this vision in her head. Norma Jean always knew that she wanted to be a movie star. I've read her biographies. I've done my research on Marilyn. Her story is amazing. People talk about her like she was just this idiot. No, she was not. That woman was brilliant. Did she have issues? Of course. She was a product of her generation. Her generation of Hollywood was all, and they're still about pill popping and drinking and all kind of crazy stuff nowadays. But her generation was really about it. They were heavy smokers. They were alcoholics. They were drug addicts. I mean, they had pills to wake you up. They had pills to relax you. They had pills to put you to sleep. When you got up in the morning, you took the pills to wake you up. I mean, and they were prescribed like candy. I mean, basically, you went to a doctor and said, you know what, I can't sleep. He wrote you a script. You went to the doctor, damn, now I can't wake up. He wrote you a prescription. I mean, she was a product of her generation. So when they talk about how tragic she wasn't the only one with all those issues. Men and women had those same problems. That was what was done in her time period. But don't let what happened to her in reference to how she passed away, throw any shade into what she did and who she created in the process of becoming Marilyn Monroe. Norma Jean, like I said, she created an icon. She understood how to package herself. She studied other people. She studied other actresses that she admired to start putting together and creating the persona that is Marilyn Monroe. Mae West was the same way. Mae West, as a matter of fact, I believe Norma Jean actually did look into Mae West as one of her idols and one of her women that she actually admired. It was a persona. And the persona definitely had aspects of her personality, who she was as a person. But when she turned on Marilyn Monroe, that was star quality. That was a man magnet. That was a people magnet. She was so magnetic, so charismatic, that she did such a great job of playing that dumb blonde. She almost stereotyped herself, because Hollywood did not want, the studios did not want to offer her parts to play more serious roles. You know, there's this whole thing in there where they're coming up against a contract renegotiation, and she's telling the studio, I want to play more serious roles, and they're like, no. You know, because the money maker is Marilyn as the dumb blonde, right? Like, why are we going to change that? Why, if the system's not broke, don't fix it, right? Well, she's like, I'm the damn system. You know, she's thinking in her mind, she's like, wait. She goes, and she told them, she goes, Marilyn Monroe is mine. She goes, that is me. I created her. I want to take her further. I want to do something different with her. And they kept telling her no. So she said to them, guess what? She goes, I'm not coming back. You know, she told them the kind of money that she wanted per movie. And she told them, and I want to play more serious roles. And they told her no. She goes, and guess what? Her contract was up. She goes, when it was coming to an end. She goes, when it ends, she goes, I'm out. I'm leaving. Think about what I said. And she did. She bounced out for a year. She went to New York, where she was studying under one of the best acting coaches, I can't think of the woman's name right now, in New York, to perfect and craft her new persona, the new energy she was bringing into Marilyn Monroe. So when she came back, and when the studio was like, the money was dropping because no new films are coming out with her, and they were looking at taking a hit financially, they came crawling back. When she came back to them and said, what's up? They were like, what do you want? You got it. She wound up getting the amount of money she wanted per film, and she wound up having an opportunity to play more serious roles. Watch her and stuff other than the stuff where she's playing the dumb blonde. Marilyn Monroe actually was a very good actress. She truly was. But Norma Jean had to grow, cultivate, create, and manifest Marilyn Monroe. So that's what I talk about what is your package in your brand. Who is that you want to be? Because now, having done the last 2 assignments, and I told you guys, these assignments are not as simple assignments. Like I said, so many times you guys want, like I said, the mastery level manifestations, but you don't want to do the entry level work to get you there. True excellence, true world-class success comes from the grunt work. It comes from the day-to-day things that you do, the simple, non-glamorous, unfun stuff that you need to do periodically to get you to the next level. And having clarity about what it is you want to do, who it is you desire to be. Who are you? Who are you inside of this boring, gray, unfocused individual that you currently may be? As I've said before, no criticism. We've all been there. You know, learning how to, break out of these boxes, learning how to, step outside your comfort zones. I've mentioned it before. I've always been an eclectic personality. I have always been that, square peg that they would try to put into a round hole, or round hole into a square peg, whatever. Or I've been that one who's been wandering off to the beat of her own drummer. That has been me my entire life. It's not going to change. It's who I am. Like I said, I can play nice in the sandbox, but I know my superpowers lie in the fact that I am me. And when I start coming into myself and really start understanding who I could be, especially once my kids were grown, I could really focus on just being myself again, because I wasn't somebody's mom. I didn't have to, do certain things and represent myself in certain ways, because as a single mom, man, they're always trying to find some way to throw shade on you, or trying to find some way to undermine you. Things that you want to do reference to your kids, because you don't always have that male presence there, as the backup. I had men in my life, but they couldn't go to the schools with me and discuss my children. They weren't their fathers. So I had to be able to go in. So trust me, when I had to suit up to go to school to talk about something that was going on that I did not like in reference to my children, be it a teacher, be it a situation, dear hearts, I would suit up, because I was working in corporate by that time. So I would have on the black suit or the pinstripe suit, the 5-inch heels, the hair was perfect, the nails were perfect, and guess what? I speak beautifully. So when I choose to, yeah, I can cuss like a sailor too. You guys know that by now. You hear me. But when I need to be articulate and speak a certain way, I've got it. So when I'd walk into those schools and I had to sit down with principals and teachers and school board members because something was happening that was not benefiting my child and was pissing me off because my child was coming home unhappy and my child was coming home telling me things that were being done that were inappropriate in the classroom, a teacher that didn't want to teach anymore, a teacher that was telling the kids that their dreams were dumb, they could never accomplish the stuff they wanted to accomplish. That is never a teacher's responsibility to tell my child that their dreams are dumb and they can't do it. If I'm encouraging my children to dream big, then that teacher needs to keep their mouth shut. If they failed in their life, that's their problem. Don't spill that onto my children and the kids in my child's class. Yes, I've had to go to the school board about that stuff. Guys, I'm no joke. I am no joke when it comes to my children. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, I can play the different roles I need to play because that's all it is role playing to a point. But when I had the time out to finally sit down and get back into being really myself, that's when I truly blossom because now I can dress the way I want to dress. I can speak the way I want to speak. I can adorn myself the way I want to adorn myself. I can package my brand in a way that really, really speaks to who I am as a woman and a person. It speaks to about my character. It speaks to character as in the quality of my personality and the quality of my craziness sometimes. Because I told you guys, I'm a handful. I know I am, but in a very good way. I draw men to me because I can make them laugh. We can have serious conversations. We can just sit there and not talk at all. I am literally a safe haven and a place of comfort and peace for men. That's something I've cultivated all my life because I've spent so much time around men. And I know that's something that they miss so dearly and so deeply in their lives. So people ask, how can I get men to do things for me? It's because they enjoy doing things for me because they enjoy being with me. And they enjoy being with me because I enjoy being with them. And once again, not every man has access to me. I am extremely selective as to who I allow really to get close to me. I screen the men that get close to me. I'm not just randomly accepting any man that I think may have some money. I've had men, that's how men approach me, just so you guys know. When a man wants to get to know me better, affluent men, they come with me with their money. They come telling me what they're going to do for me or they have to offer me. And they're giving me the steps on how to make it happen. We need to go see my attorney to do this. We need to go do that. How can I put this in your name? Whatever. They come to me to let me know that they have the capacity to be worthy in my space. That's beautiful, but I don't always want all of them. Because sometimes I'm looking at them going, I know you, and I know you have integrity issues. I have issues with that. I've got some very wealthy men that I know that have serious integrity issues. And that's not only in business, but I've also seen it spill into their personal life and how they treat women. And I'm like, okay, you already know that's not going to work with me, so why are you coming to me and trying to convince me to be with you when you already know we're not going to get along? And I know part of it is they do want somebody to tame their personality. They want somebody to tame them and lock down, their that submissive side that needs somebody to control them, so to speak. I don't always take any submissives either. I told you that in prior audios and videos, because they're a lot of work. They are a ton of work. So understand, packaging your brand plays into all of this, because when you package your brand correctly, like Norma Jean did when she was creating Marilyn Monroe, as Norma Jean, I'm showing pictures of her. I'm using her pictures as the picture I'm putting on the audios. Look at her before pictures. Like I said, she was not. She was a cute girl. She was. She was a pretty girl, but she was not bombshell. You look at the pictures of early Norma Jean, and you look at the pictures of Norma Jean as Marilyn Monroe. Good God. She just oozed sensuality and sex appeal and she just femininity and, men. Norma Jean created Marilyn Monroe where Norma Jean was cute. Marilyn Monroe was fucking phenomenal. Men were chasing her down. I mean, think about it. People to this day, she has been dead for decades. Decades, okay? And people are still, she is one of the most, when you go to drag shows, when you go, and the most idolized and imitated, one of the most imitated women out there. And we have people that came after Marilyn Monroe that try to imitate her. And unfortunately, they had the same tragic result. Look at Anna Nicole Smith. Her role model was definitely Marilyn Monroe. Like I said, unfortunately, a disaster, unfortunately. Her fate wound up being about the same as Marilyn Monroe's fate. But once again, you can take on qualities of people that you admire without taking on their tragedies, just so you know. But like I said, so who are you? Those statements that you made, that brand statement that you created, is going to give you a glimpse into who you are in reference to your persona. Who are you in reference to packaging that? If you have been unclear about how to package yourself, meaning your look, your signature, fragrance perhaps, your personality, how to set your goals and desires, this is the time. This must be the culmination of those statements. Because in that statement, the I am statements and the brand statement, you are going to discover, is your personality? Is she that classic beauty? Is she the sex kitten? Is she the unconventional beauty? Are you the ageless beauty? This is where the beauty personas come in. Is she the exotic beauty? Is she the, is she what? Who are you? That brand statement, those 3 words that describe you, are giving you a clue into your personal brand of beauty, guys. Yes, do you see where I'm going with all of this? I always have a rhythm, a rhyme, and a reason to what I'm doing, especially when I'm in this capacity, when I'm in this space of consulting and teaching. I always have a plan. Always. And I'm sharing these details with you guys because I want you guys to open up your eyes and to see this doesn't have to be as hard as you're making it sometimes. Yes, you're going to put in work. I say this all the time. Yes, you're going to put in work. You're going to put in effort. But if you guys are already out there throwing yourselves out there, randomly throwing yourselves out there, trying to attract affluent men, and you don't have a real game plan, you're already putting out the effort. And you're just spinning your wheels and you're wasting your time and you're getting frustrated and you're getting mad. Why don't you invest the time, the energy, the effort, and the money into learning how to do it correctly? I'm just saying, for those of you that are college educated, for a fact when you decided you want to go for your major and that particular job at the end of that degree program, you couldn't go through that haphazardly. You had to take steps to get there. And this is no different. I'm an educator. I am a consultant who also sits in the space of an educator. So think about your brand, how you're packaging your brand. In those statements, like I said, look at those statements. What kind of personality would you think would be that statement? Marilyn Monroe had the ability, she was a classic beauty with let's put it this way, a sex kitten with a heavy dose of classic beauty. She was an icon. She was not the only platinum blonde out there, but she was the most memorable one, and she is the one who became an icon. The only one that comes close underneath her. You have some other ones that came out of her. Well, actually, they're older. Zsa Zsa and Ava were older than Marilyn. Because I was laughing at the book I read about the fabulous Gabors, the glamorous Gabors. Zsa Zsa talks about Marilyn Monroe and just the upstart and all this other stuff because she was competition for Zsa Zsa. But the only one that was probably around her age group that is memorable is Jane Mansfield. And Jane Mansfield also played that dumb blonde, but she had a different style of playing it than Marilyn Monroe did. But Marilyn is the epitome of that sex kitten. She is the epitome of what it looks like to have that glamorous beauty. She is a persona that is also people impersonate in the world of burlesque, as well as drag, as well as acting. Hers is a look that many people imitate, men and women. That is the power of understanding how to put together your packaging. So take your statements and think about this. What does it say about you? How do you want to represent, physically represent that personal brand statement now. I want you guys to really think about this. Like I said, guys, I'm giving you such golden nuggets of information right now. And I know some of you are going to take the information and run with it, and I think that's great. I do. But I know some of you are going to listen to what I'm saying, and you're going to think it's unimportant, and you're going to keep going out there doing what you're doing, and you're going to keep having problems, and you're going to keep getting frustrated. And once again, I respect that. I honor your choice. Your decisions are your decisions. But once again, if you are tired of struggling, do the work. I'm offering you information that I share with my private coaching clients. And even if you decide to come to me with the information I'm sharing with you in these mini classes, if you do decide to come and set up a time with me, reserve a time to actually do a consultation with me, and you become a private client, then guess what? You have done groundwork that we now can build upon in the private coaching. This never changes because your personal brand of beauty is going to evolve as you evolve. It changes, it shifts as you get older and as you become more aware of who you are as a woman and the things that you love and enjoy. There'll always be the basics because, as I said, I'm an exotic beauty. Always have been. But I have the classic beauty there. I also have the unconventional. And God knows I definitely have the sex getting down. And in due time, I will become that ageless beauty. It's all about the evolution. And evolution is all about survival of the fittest. I don't care how many times you want to do things and say things to make everybody feel comfortable and wanted. The truth of the matter is we live in a competitive society that only the cream of the cream will rise to the top. And you can't drag those who are going to be stuck in mediocrity with you. It's impossible. They only drag you down. So at that time, and right now, that mediocrity might be your mindset. It might even be anybody physical. It might simply be you because you will not let yourself grow beyond your current state of being. So use these mini classes, use this information to really step up your game, to really step up your persona, to really step up your experiences. Like I said, guys, I want you to thrive. And I got other selfish reasons. I told you, as I'm doing this and I'm coaching more women, I'm looking at putting together the first group of women that I want to start representing in the matchmaking business. And I'm being very clear and honest with you guys. I'm not going to just allow any woman to be in that space for the matchmaking. I can't. My reputation will be on the line. That is a reflection of me, the quality that I put out there and the quality of men that I bring in to meet these women. Not every man's going to be able to come to me and just throw down some money and say, find me a match. He has to go through a vetting process too. Because once again, that's my reputation. This is my personality. This is me. I want to make sure I give quality. And when I make these matches in the future, I want them to be lasting matches. They may not be perfect matches all the time because, once again, I have no control over people's personalities, but I do have the ability to be the guiding light that brings together qualities in people that will give them the opportunity and make it possible for them to have long-term success in reference to relationships. If you haven't figured out this by now, guys, I'm very serious about what I do. Fun, it's playful, it's exciting, like I said, but it is definitely work. Because as I'm working with you guys, I tell people, I don't think people understand this when they are doing private coaching with me. I work behind the scenes. We have the 90-minute phone calls once a week. And sometimes there's phone calls, like 15, 20-minute phone calls, and in between sessions, if something's going on in reference to she's met a man, she's got a couple questions, we may talk. I'm answering emails, I'm doing things to correct things they may have sent to me, fine-tune things, because when they're sitting back their scripts, I'm looking through the scripts, I'm adding to the scripts, I'm expanding on the scripts, I'm adding details. There's work that I do behind the scenes of a coaching situation. So it's not that I'm just doing, those, however many 90-minute phone calls we have. I'm also working with my clients behind the scenes. I want to see success. I want to see those aha moments. I love when somebody just goes, oh my God. And I told you, I've heard this so many times, they've been lying to me. I'm like, yeah, society is going to lie to you about how you should represent yourself and who you should allow yourself to be. Because once you decide to step into your own as a woman and really own who you are as a person and a woman, it makes people uncomfortable. Because society understands the power, the true power and essence of a woman who becomes self-actualized. We're unstoppable. And true men, especially affluent men, or men that have the capacity to become affluent, are looking for that woman who understands who she is. For that woman, he will lay at her feet a mountain of gold. I'm not kidding. So anyway, that's the assignment. Take your personal brand statement and start thinking about how she looks. What does she wear? How does she smell? How does she adorn herself? What does she do to honor and appreciate herself? I already mentioned in this video what I do in reference to, maintaining my sensuality and enjoying my femininity. Being a woman is more than just the pedicures. It's more than just getting our hair done. It's more than just so many things. Those are fun. But it goes deeper. How are you eating? How are you taking care of your body? That's part of your personal package and your brand, just so you know. Do you honor yourself? Ooh, that probably hits a nerve for some people. And it's supposed to hit a nerve, just so you know. Because sometimes women, once again, it depends on the upbringing. I tell you guys this because I said I've had clients that I've worked with who've been through some amazingly awful experiences in their lives. I mean, seriously, just horrific experiences in their lives, especially as young women and little girls. And when they come to me and we're talking and I'm hearing the insecurities and I'm hearing that struggle that they have of feeling worthy of what they want because of all the negative programming that they're dealing with. And when we finally start talking and we start getting through stuff and digging through layers, and I start helping them to understand, you've always been worthy. You have always been worthy of your dreams. And it's okay to dream. I come and stand in this place of non-judgment. I'm here to remind you that yes, you can have what you want. Yes, you deserve. If you want a man who's going to spoil you and honor you and cherish you and provide for you and protect you and build this magnificent, process for you, you deserve him. But you need to be prepared to receive him. That's the issue. Sometimes women will manifest these men because their mental state is so fucked up. They won't appreciate him and they self-sabotage the relationship. We've all been there. Come on, be honest. We've all been there. Where we have self-sabotaged what could have been a great relationship. I can think of at least one that I've done that with when I was younger. Because I didn't understand it. Because I didn't understand what I needed and what I wanted. Because I was still so caught up in trying to overcome the struggles that I was dealing with as a young single mother. For me, it wasn't always so much issues in reference to my self-confidence. It was just not understanding what my next steps were sometimes. Because I couldn't see how to dig myself out of the hole that I'd fallen in reference to work. I was working for pennies, basically. And I couldn't see how to get myself out of that ditch because I did not have what I thought was necessary, which was that college degree. And I can tell you guys, a college degree is great, but it is not necessary to be successful in business or in the world or in the workforce. Because I've told you before, I have had jobs that they were requiring bachelor's degrees and sometimes master's degrees. And they would hire me because of my life experiences, because of how I spoke and how I answered questions, how I actually asked them questions. They knew I had the maturity and the skill set to do the job. And I did, and I excelled. And when I excelled, my employees excelled, which meant the company overall excelled. So it's good. It was a win-win situation for everybody. So that's all I'm going to say in this one. Think about what I'm saying. How are you caring for yourself? What does your personal brand look like? How are you packaging her? Because some of you don't have one yet. Some of you are still struggling out there because, once again, you're trying to chase somebody else. You're trying to look like somebody else. You're trying to emulate and imitate somebody else who part of the look may work for you, but the whole package may not work for you. So you've got to take the time out to investigate who you are and stop allowing the negative voice to keep stepping up. Go back to those 3 I am statements. Those are your power statements. All right? Those are your power statements. So when you find yourself starting to do negative self-talk, go back to those 3 statements. I am. And say it loud. Write them down. Write them down like you did in grade school. You did something wrong. Write it out 100 times. I am, I am, I am, I am, whatever. Do whatever you need to do to make sure that you have branded those statements into you so deep that automatically when something negative pops in your head, you can hear it in your head. I am phenomenal. I am gorgeous. You hear it, and it automatically stops that negative voice from happening. So, enough for today. Love you guys. I adore you guys. And once again, if you're ready to go next step, and I won't be talking about this at the end of every single thing that I do from now on. If you are ready to step up and put together a strategic action plan, if you are ready to really start putting these pieces together in a way that's going to benefit you and put together a real strategy to get you into the world of affluent dating at a real high-end level, click on the link and reserve your consultation with me. They fill up. So if you're thinking about a time in the day, you click on there and you see it's available, I recommend you take it when you go there because you may come back the next day and it's not available. Just speaking the truth, guys. Like I said, I'm on a mission. And like I said, I'm building my army, okay? I am in the process of building my wealthy wife army. Not to fight, no reason to fight, but we are going to conquer. We are definitely going to conquer. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.